Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a pretty unique, ready-made resource that was built specifically for content creators exploring the history of Barclays Bank. If you're looking to efficiently grasp centuries of really complex financial history without getting totally lost in the weeds, well, you're definitely in the right place. We're going to break down exactly how this source material is structured to make learning and honestly creating as seamless as possible.
What's truly fascinating here, though, is the author's main pitch. I mean, this isn't your standard run-of-the-mill blog post just meant for some casual reading on a Sunday. It's actually explicitly engineered to be fed directly into AI tools, specifically Notebook LM, to generate a script. It really highlights this massive shift we're seeing in how information is packaged today. Taking raw historical data and formatting it specifically so it can be instantly transformed and utilized by modern tech. It's a real game changer.
Section 1. Founding and 1896 Merger. Early Bank History. Let's take a quick look at the historical core promised in the text and see exactly how it builds a solid factual foundation.
So, the author anchors the whole narrative with this really detailed timeline. The source material covers the very beginning of the institution way back in 1690, which is just crazy to think about, traces the origins of the bank's name, and then leaps forward to highlight that critical 1896 merger. By distilling literally centuries of time into a quick reference guide, it makes sure you never lose the chronological thread of the story. It's absolutely crucial because it allows creators to easily navigate the massive time jumps that are just kind of inherent in banking history.
Moving on to Section 2, Innovations and History, a Complex Legacy. The really important point to keep in mind here is how the source material balances these massive corporate achievements with some very complex historical realities. Just impartially reporting the contents here, we can see exactly what that balance looks like in practice. On one hand, the source details some major technological firsts that literally shaped modern banking, things like the introduction of the Barclaycard and the rollout of the very first ATM. Pretty huge milestones, right? But right alongside those massive innovations, it also includes a factual note regarding the family's complicated slave trade history. Presenting this information side by side like this ensures a much more objective picture of the institution's past, basically leaving the creator fully informed without imposing any specific stance on them.
Okay, Section 3, Custom Scripting, Upgrade Your Content. This is where we shift over to the actual utility of the package and how the author takes all this raw material to the next level.
This part brilliantly illustrates the author's offer to completely upgrade your workflow. Because on one side, sure, you have your raw history and that super easy reference timeline table, but on the other side, you have an actual, fully drafted script. The author is basically offering to build in the necessary hooks to grab your viewer's attention, segment breaks for better pacing, a call to action, the whole shebang. And it's all completely tailored to a specific target length that you provide. It completely bridges that tricky gap between just learning the historical facts and actually communicating them effectively to an audience.
To wrap up this explainer, we're going to leave you with the exact prompt the author asked to customize the project. What tone will you choose? I mean, do you want to present this centuries-old story in a strictly educational light? Or do you want to adapt it into something punchy and, potentially viral? It really makes you think about how the exact same historical facts can take on a completely different life entirely depending on the delivery. So I'll leave you with this. If you had the power to shape the narrative of a 300-year-old financial giant for an audience today, what tone would you choose?